igniting curiosity across depots, command centers, and beyond. Welcome to your weekly Depot AI Brief, where emerging AI meets mission-ready insights.
It's great to be back.
Welcome to Episode 03, AI Foundations, Demystified Tokens, Models, Agents, and Cutting-Edge Tools for Everyday Wins.
That is a mouthful of a title.
It is, isn't it? But, the landscape is getting so complicated, I feel like we almost need it.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like we're past the pilot program phase.
Right. 2025 was all about testing, all about the hype. But 2026, this feels different. This is the year of integration. We're actually putting this stuff to work now.
That is the exact pivot we're seeing. We're moving from, wow, look what this can do, to, okay, how does this actually help me fix a gearbox?
Or audit a budget, or roster a shift. It's the operational phase.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why we're here. Today, we're breaking down exactly how these AI updates impact our 4 core roles, from the shop floor to the executive suite, and we'll wrap up with key highlights and insights on the commercial tools flashing on our industry radar.
And I love this approach because we're really taking the hood off the engine, We're not just saying a tool works.
No.
We're explaining how it works so you can actually troubleshoot your own process.
Let's get right into it then. First stop, the artisan.
The mechanics, safety officers, the folks on the ground.
Exactly. The people at CCAD and across the OIB who are keeping these aircraft in the air.
The backbone.
For this group, the big buzzwords are natural language processing, NLP, and generative AI. Now, most people have a vague idea of NLP, but let's be real. A depot is loud.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a library. You've got tools going off, and military maintenance jargon is, it's its own language. Does NLP really handle that kind of acronym soup?
Well, that's the critical leap we've made. The older systems, they needed specific keywords.
Right. If you didn't say assembly, hydraulic, lower, you just get an error.
Exactly. But modern NLP, it doesn't just match words. It understands intent.
So it's searching for meaning, not just a perfect spelling match.
That's it. You could be standing next to Apache, covered in grease, and say into a headset, I've got a weird leak on the valve under the left strut.
Something a real person would say.
Right. And the system figures out you mean the portside landing gear strut assembly. It maps your messy, real-world sentence to the clean data in Army Vantage.
That is huge. That saves you from clicking through a dozen nested folders.
It's about speed. And it's about cognitive offloading, which leads us right into generative AI.
Okay, so NLP helps the computer understand me.
And generative AI helps it create something new for you.
We're not talking about it writing poetry here.
No, we're talking about generating content that helps get the job done. So using an approved tool like GenAI.mil, it might generate a custom step-by-step guide for a really unusual repair.
So it sort of creates a bridge between the static manual and what's happening on the floor right now.
You got it. Now, you have to ask about the model landscape. Every week there's a new champion, right? Grok 4, GPT 5.1, Gemini 3 Pro.
Claude Opus 4.5. Yeah, does a mechanic really need to care which one is under the hood?
Actually, yes. And this is where it gets really interesting. There's no single winner.
It's context dependent.
Entirely. Think of it like choosing a tool from your toolbox. You wouldn't use a wrench for everything.
Okay, how so?
Well, let's take Claude Opus 4.5. It's fantastic at deep reasoning. If you have a complex, intermittent electrical fault that just defies logic, you want Claude on it.
Right.
But maybe Grok 4 is just faster for simple stuff. If you just need to look up a torque spec right now, Grok will probably get it for you quicker.
So use the right tool for the job. Don't use a sledgehammer to hang a picture.
That's it. And for the artisan, the so what is simple. This tech reduces the time you spend looking things up so you can keep your hands on the aircraft.
Less searching, more fixing. I love it. Okay, let's shift gears. We're moving from the hangar floor to the analyst's desk.
The analyst are data scientists, logistics wizards, Excel power users.
For them, we're diving into tokenization, local AI, and this idea of agentic AI. Let's start with tokenization. This feels fundamental.
It is, and it really blows people's minds when they first get it. AI doesn't read words. It doesn't see the word helicopter.
What does it see?
It breaks text down into tokens. These are units of data.
So a token isn't a letter or a word.
It's sort of in between. Think of it like a unit of meaning, maybe 4 characters of English text. The word apple is probably 1 token. A really long word might be 5 or 6.
And these tokens get turned into numbers.
Yep, numerical IDs. That's the currency of AI. So when you feed a report into Ask Sage, you're not feeding it a story, you're feeding it a stream of numbers.
And why does an analyst need to care about that?
Because of the context window. That's the AI's short-term memory. If you try to shove a 500-page manual into a model with a small context window,
It's going to forget the beginning by the time it gets to the end.
and that's when you start getting those weird made-up answers. Knowing how the AI slices text helps you get a better result.
That makes perfect sense. All right, what about local AI? We're seeing a big push for this in the OIB, but hold on. Usually local or offline means dumber.
Right, a drop in quality. My tablet isn't as smart as a data center.
So are we asking analysts to use less capable tools just to be secure?
That used to be the trade-off. But the new distilled models we're seeing, they're changing the game. You're getting intelligence that rivals the giants from 2 years ago on a chip the size of a fingernail.
So it might not know the weather in Tokyo.
Exactly. It loses the world knowledge.
But for specialized tasks like analyzing a data set right in front of it, it's actually faster.
Way faster, zero latency. You're not pinging a satellite. Plus, in a hangar or a contested environment, cloud-based can mean broken. Local AI just works.
That's a huge advantage. Now let's clarify something that I think confuses a lot of people. Agentic AI versus generative AI.
It's the next frontier.
We know Gen AI creates things. What makes an agent agentic?
So generative AI is reactive. You say, write me an email, and it writes it. Then it waits. Agentic AI is proactive. It can execute multi-step tasks to achieve a goal you give it.
Give me a real-world example for an analyst.
Okay. Say you have a messy data set from 3 different depots. A generative AI can help you write the formula to clean it up if you ask just right.
But an agentic AI,
You could just give it the goal. Harmonize these data sets and highlight the discrepancies. And the agent would autonomously figure out the steps to do that.
wow. So it's not just a typewriter. You said it before. It's like a digital intern.
Exactly. It handles the boring stuff so the analyst can focus on the insights.
That's a game changer for productivity. Okay, let's move up the ladder to the supervisor.
The team leads, shift supervisors, middle management.
The people making sure everything's running by the book. For them, the magic acronym is RAW, Retrieval Augmented Generation.
And this sounds technical, but honestly, it might be the single most important concept for anyone in a compliance role.
Why is it that important?
Because standard generative AI, as we said, can hallucinate.
It makes things up.
It's designed to be creative, to predict the next logical word. But in our world, that's terrifying. You do not want an AI guessing about safety protocols.
Absolutely not. So how does RAG fix that?
Think of it like an open book exam. Standard Gen AI is a student answering from memory. RE gives that student the textbook and says, you can only answer using what's on this page.
So when a supervisor asks a question in Copilot or Army Vantage,
The system searches our trusted database first, our regulations, our manuals. It finds the relevant paragraphs. It gives that text to the AI and says, summarize the answer using only this information.
so if the answer isn't in the manual, what happens?
It will say, I cannot answer this based on the provided context, and that is the safety valve. It kills the hallucination problem.
That is a massive friction reducer. No more digging through filing cabinets. You get a facts-based answer, and it's fast,
And it creates an audit trail. It even cites the page and paragraph number.
which is perfect for supervisors. Okay, let's take it all the way to the top. The executive.
Commanders, directors, SES. The strategic level.
For leaders at AMCOM and beyond, the conversation shifts. We're talking risk management, bias, and ROI, especially something you call token economics.
Let's start with bias and risk. AI models are trained on human data. And, well, human data contains human biases.
So if you use an AI for, say, hiring or resource allocation, those biases could creep in.
And you could end up with some serious disparate impacts. It's a huge liability. That's why we talk about bias audits and always keeping a human in the loop.
The AI is a tool, not the final decision maker.
It can't be. Leaders need to implement those safeguards. It's just basic risk management for a new domain.
Now, token economics. That sounds like finance, but it's really about budget, isn't it?
Yeah.
You use the phrase dollars for nickels.
Yeah, the most powerful models, the GPT-5 class models, are incredibly expensive to run. They use massive amounts of compute power.
So give me some numbers.
A frontier model might cost, say, $30 to process 1 million tokens. A smaller optimized model might cost 15 cents for the same amount.
Whoa, that is a huge spread.
It is. So if you have 10,000 users summarizing simple emails every day, and you're using the Ferrari model for that, you're just burning millions of dollars.
It's like taking a tank to the grocery store.
Exactly. It's overkill. The strategy for executives is to orchestrate this. Route the hard questions to the expensive brain and the easy questions to the cheap one automatically.
So innovation has to be balanced with fiscal responsibility.
Always.
All right.
Yeah.
That covers our core four. Now, let's shift gears completely. We are leaving the IL5 environment. We're leaving the secure network.
We're heading to the home lab.
Yes, it is time for the industry radar. And I have to say this clearly. Remember, the following tools are for your home lab or industry awareness only. These are not authorized for CUI or depot networks.
A very important distinction. But we have to know what's happening on the outside to understand where the tech is going.
Absolutely. So what's flashing on the radar this week?
Okay, first up for anyone who likes to code at home. Replit has a new AI coding assistant. It connects to models from Google and Anthropic, and it's great for staying sharp.
I also heard about something called DeepSeek V4.
Yes, that's coming in mid-February. Now, DeepSeek is interesting because it's an open weights model from China.
And why should a depot commander care about a foreign open weights model?
Because it resets the market. It proves you can get GPT-4 level performance for a fraction of the cost. Even if we can't use it, its existence drives down the price of the secure American models we can use.
It affects our buying power. Got it. What about CES 2026?
The big themes were hardware and robotics. The digital and physical worlds are merging. AI is moving out of the screen and into the machine itself.
Which brings us right back to our Artisan. The tool chest itself might be smart one day.
That's where it's headed. And for the real tech heads out there, NVIDIA released something called Alpha Mayo for autonomous tasks. And on Hugging Face, there's a model called Falcon H1R7B.
And that one is free for commercial use.
It is. So it's a great playground for anyone wanting to experiment with edge computing at home without paying big licensing fees.
Last thing on the consumer side, I saw ChatGPT is testing ads.
Yeah, the free tier is changing. It's a reminder that nothing is really free, but also keep an eye on tools like Simply.fi Autopilot. It shows how marketing and communications are being automated.
And we can learn from that.
You can see how they use agents to manage campaigns and get ideas for how we can manage logistics flows. It's all about those transferable concepts.
So we've covered a lot of ground today. What's the one big takeaway?
I think it's this. Understanding the nuts and bolts, from tokens to agents, it ensures we control the technology rather than the technology controlling us.
They're just tools.
They're tools with specific strengths, weaknesses, and importantly, costs.
And the better we understand them, the better we can apply them to the mission.
100%.
Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. I hope your brain is buzzing with ideas.
Mine definitely is.
Thanks for joining us. Whether you're turning wrenches in the hangars or crunching numbers for the command team, you are the engine that keeps Army aviation ready. Stay safe, stay innovative, and we'll see you on the next Depot AI Brief.